the Lord gives certain instructions to those who are being sent out to prepare the way for Him. These have been picked up by the centuries. He wants them to be free from attachment. In the instructions He gives, there are certain items mentioned, but the bottom line is freedom and also dependence on providence. We must do the same. The birds are free to fly, but as St. John of the Cross points out, it doesn't have to be a great rope, it can be a tiny thread that attached to one of their feet is enough to stop them from taking off. It can be our case as well. A part of that is the freedom of the heart, where we can be attached to a place or a person, and indeed consecrated chastity comes into that domain, for it gives a tremendous availability. That has been one advantage of the Western rite over the Eastern one. The priests did not have a whole family in tow, and therefore were free to go over the whole world and evangelize. The Lord warns about eventual rejection, that rejection that Amos the prophet also found. He was not to be saying certain things in official places. That sounds strangely modern. It is a bizarre scenario when people who are actually the flock begin to instruct the shepherd and tell him what is acceptable and what is not. There is also a lot of self-censorship going on, that preachers do not approach certain issues or mention certain things, lest they provoke a reaction. And thus it is that the devil gets away with just what he wants, and people are left where they're at. Indeed, if one looks over the Christian world on this Sunday, one can ask how many people will go to church and come out again with the same quantity of knowledge they had when they went in. Are they being instructed? With regard to the ideal of the gospel, it does attract. I remember at the age of 13, actually, while studying history, coming across the birth of the mendicant movements in the Middle Ages. And in the history book, the verse which pushed Francis of Assisi towards that radical form of evangelical living was printed in the middle of the page, not as part of the text, and it stood out. If thou wilt be perfect, go, sell all that thou hast, and give to the poor, come, follow me. Remember, coming off the bunk or wherever it was that I was reading this, and going down and kneeling at the bottom bunk at home and realizing that that was the verse, that was the call. Interesting that the ideal of St. Francis would appeal to an evangelical Protestant. There is a fascination about that evangelical movement of St. Francis. He was free to fly. He was also free because he was humble, did not have a career, and out of humility did not even want ordination. He was a deacon because we have testimony that he sang the gospel one Christmas. He was also preaching. The flame of the call still comes. And that grace of the call one needs to come back to and rekindle. Indeed, as one goes through life, verses that have jumped out of the scriptures, including the Psalms in the liturgy, come again and jump out of the page, and we relive past graces met therein before. They are the personal treasures of the soul. How different it is quietly to nourish one's soul with graces and good memories, and to nourish it with messages from the world, bombardment of the imagination and of the senses. They will be the points of reference in that case, and will pull away. We're only here once. Let us fill our day with gentle graces, moments of encounter, simple things, that we too may be free to fly. Sanctissimum Sacramentum, laudate Dominum omnes gentes, laudate eum omnibus populi, quoniam confirmata est super nos misericordia eius, et veritas Domini manet in aeternum. Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper, et in saecula saeculorum. Amen. Adorem